Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of The Scoop, live from Saddleback College. I'm Ashley White and thank you all so much for joining us. On today's show, we will be visiting an Orange County food sensation that has people driving anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours just to get their hands on some tasty treats. Next, we will visit an artist in Laguna Beach and hear how he first fell in love with the arts. Later, we will be heading out to cover the groundbreaking ceremony of our own Saddleback College's future athletic stadium. After that, we will have a chance to sit down with the president of Saddleback, Dr. Gregory Anderson, and then discuss the documentary Inside Vadio Viejo with director Juan Cabral. Finally, we'll get an in-studio dog agility demonstration from the folks over at Wags and Wiggles. Now it's time to speed over to Sidecar Donuts in Costa Mesa and take a look at what they're serving up.
Off the 55 freeway, you can find a comfortable pastry shop that makes fresh fried donuts. We managed to speak with the back-of-the-house manager, Holden Ralston, about the location and what it's about.
We opened up Sidecar Donuts in 2014. The part that Sidecar plays in the Costa Mesa community is definitely being a Sabbath, being a place of rest, and really emulating all the good aspects of a donut shop. We serve the world's freshest donuts. We make them in small batches every day with high quality ingredients. There's no preservatives, and that means no shelf life, and we're fine with that, knowing that we're giving our customers the best possible donut and the freshest possible donut, something we pride ourselves on. We stick to strictly serving coffee and donuts only. We have specialty coffee drinks like matcha and teas and things like that, but we've tossed around the idea of cronuts and other breakfast pastries, but we said let's do what we can do best, and that was coffee and donuts.
And these donuts are no joke. The response was overwhelming. People are willing to wait in a 45-minute line on the weekend to get a donut from this store. And they're always looking for ways to improve the menu. Whether customers say the donuts need more flavors, less flavors, fresher donuts, whatever it takes to give a great donut to the community. And speaking of, what are some of them?
The ones that our most popular ones are the Huckleberry, which is a huckleberry cake donut with a huckleberry glaze. And we get those huckleberries from Oregon 3 times a week, and so those are just amazing fresh. It's the perfect mix of, kind of like a blueberry, kind of like a blackberry, but that's an amazing donut. The other one that we're really known for is the Basil Eggs Benedict, which is a raised yeast donut, and inside that we poach an egg, there's a layer of ham, and then we fill it with this nice salty basil hollandaise sauce. So that one's definitely one to keep your eye out for, but then again, the butter and salt, can't beat that. Got the smooth butter, a little kick from the salt. There's nothing else.
They also have a 25-foot trailer called the Food Truck. They can serve weddings, corporate events, and big music festivals like Coachella. And they're not only serving the community on wheels, but also by charity as well.
Each month we have one donut that's a monthly flavor. We choose that donut and we take a portion of the proceeds, we donate it to a charity of our choosing. And so that charity rotates every single month. We did things for Hurricane Harvey victims. Last month we did one for a cancer foundation. And so it's always something new, something different that we're trying to find a way to get back to the community. Just with how much love we've gotten from our community, we want to be able to serve them in the same way.
They have 6 charities a year, and the recent charity donut was Red Velvet. They'll also be serving a new gluten-free donut every Monday, which is going to be a version of one of their cake donuts that they're already serving. These donuts sell quick, so be sure to visit and buy some.
Thank you again to the back-of-the-house manager, Holden Ralston, for taking the time to show us around. And thank you to Sidecar Donuts for giving back to the community. To learn more about Sidecare's charity donut program, you can check out their website at www.sidecardonuts.com. Now, let's travel down to the coast to Laguna Beach, where artist Chris Justice is creating unique pieces. He was inspired by abstract art, and we're going to show you where you can find some of his paintings on display. Check it out.
Down in Laguna Beach, there is a contemporary artist named Chris Justice, who's been working on abstract expressionism art. His interest in art started in high school with graffiti on canvas, but where did that interest for abstract expressionism start?
I first got interested in abstract painting. I think I was 21. Yeah, 21. And I was at an art gallery with my mother. And there were these large abstract paintings on wood panels. But these compositions were just so At the time, I didn't know what to think of the images. They were these large blocks of color, very symmetrical. I knew how it made me feel. And I remember saying to myself, I want to learn how to do that.
So he went to an art store in a nearby lumberyard to get his tools and plywood so he could start his passion. At first, he started painting on plywood, and through trial and error, he ended up using smoother surfaces like Baltic birch. He's been working on his art for 10 years now. But what is the definition of his style known as abstract expressionism?
For me, abstract expressionism is how the work makes me feel. The mystery of the image I'm essentially looking at has infinite possibilities. And it's my job as the viewer to create a story that is significant to my being. But at the same time, the work is open to interpretation to be anything you want it to be.
He's had his pieces featured at a restaurant named Central in Laguna Beach, and an art gallery off the South Coast Highway, all on wooden panels or on experimental sheet metal. A lot of his pieces have been inspired by old textural elements like rust, corrosion, old concrete, and dilapidated architecture from places he would visit. He's seen a lot and obtained years of experience, but what advice does he have to share from it?
If you're going to get into something such as visual art, music, dancing, anything creative, I believe that it needs to be an obsession. I'm obsessed with what I do. It's a healthy obsession. So I would pay attention to how badly you want something and how obsessed you are about it. Because I don't think anything can be achieved greatly if you're not obsessed with it.
If you want to see more of what Chris is working on, check out his website, chrisjusticeart.com, or his Instagram at chrisjustice_art. Now it's time for a short commercial break. When the Scoop returns, we'll take a look at an exciting upgrade coming to Saddleback. Stay tuned.
Saddleback College enriches its students and the South Orange County community by providing a comprehensive array of high-quality courses and programs. We foster student learning and success in the attainment of academic degrees and career technical certificates, transfer to four-year institutions, and improvement of basic skills. We hope Saddleback College will be your first choice if you seek a dynamic, innovative, and student-centered post-secondary education.
Welcome back to The Scoop. It's time for us to head down to the groundbreaking ceremony for Saddleback College's new athletic stadium. Sending it over to the news team.
March 12, 2018 marked a momentous occasion for Saddleback College's athletic department. A groundbreaking ceremony was held in order to spearhead the construction of the campus's new athletic complex. The celebration kicked off with a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Speaking at the ceremony was Saddleback College's recently appointed president, Dr. Gregory Anderson.
So looking back on what's led to this, it reinforces what we have. We have 50 years of excellence coming. And to have this building be the first facility that comes online in our anniversary year is something that should fill all of us with pride. Looking forward to the future.
The new sports complex is expertly designed for student athletes to improve their skills and prepare for many levels of competition.
Well, the stadium itself is going to be great because it can house all CIF games. It can also house CIF track meets. in addition to what we do here at Saddleback College. It's got a great press box. It's going to seat 8,000 people.
Construction of the new sports complex is currently underway and is scheduled to be completed by spring of 2019.
We're going to see some state championships for the community college. We're also looking at doing a lot of camps and clinics for youth, for track and field, soccer, and football. And we're also, the big thing is we're hoping to get this to be a practice facility for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics.
I cheered here in 1984 and 85, a member of the national champion team, and we won the Pony Bowl that year. And I wish it would have been in a stadium like that.
We'll still be here when it is completed, and it'll be just fabulous to actually be able to be an employee working with the stadium.
Saddleback College hopes to utilize the stadium to host local high school outings, community gatherings, and large athletic events. For more information about Saddleback College athletics, please visit www.saddlebackgauchos.com.
The future for Saddleback is as bright as ever. I hope you all enjoyed a glimpse at what's in store for Saddleback College. I'm sure you sports fans are ready for the stadium now, but we can promise it will be worth the wait. Here at The Scoop, we had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Gregory Anderson, the newly elected president of Saddleback College. Here with the latest on our Saddleback president is Michael Sines. Let's see what they discussed.
Hello, I'm Michael Sines, and today on The Scoop, we're honored to have our most distinguished guest at Saddleback College, Dr. Gregory Anderson. Thank you for joining us, President Anderson.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you. And how have you enjoyed your first 4 months at Saddleback College as president?
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the students and the professor for organizing this opportunity. It's great to be here, so I really appreciate all the work that goes into it. The first few months have been going very well. I was very grateful to be offered this opportunity by the Board of Trustees, and it's proven to be everything that I had hoped for. It's a large, complex institution, and I'm continuing to learn everything I can every single day.
Wow. And how does Saddleback College stand out when compared to other community colleges, both here in California and the rest of the country?
In many ways, I'd say Saddleback College is a national leader. We are one of the top institutions preparing students for transfer. Our workforce placement into jobs directly with certificates and degrees is very good. And our emeritus program, where we have lifelong learning going on, is really one of the models across the nation. Our basic skills program, where students come to us with different needs and we meet the students where they are, that's also one of the strengths of our college. So in all the major areas, this is one of the top community colleges in the state and in the nation.
And what does being the president of Saddleback entail?
And I was just meeting over the weekend. In fact, I was on a panel with other presidents in San Francisco on a certain issue over the weekend. And at that meeting, we had a chance to chat informally. And I asked those presidents the same question. And what we decided is it entails whatever is going to happen in the next 5 minutes or in the next 50 years. So right now, we're entering our 50th year. And we're getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary. So sometimes I'm working on what our college should look like in 50 years. How are we going to respond to things like automation and artificial intelligence and driverless cars and things like that? So I'm trying to think 50 years out, trying to work with the faculty and the staff and the administrators around planning for the next 50 years. I need to pay attention to everything. I need to be ready to serve every part of the college and in whatever way I can be of service.
And is there anything you would like to say to prospective students who are considering enrolling at Saddleback?
The primary advantage of a community college is that we meet the students where they are. So if you are a high-performing student, somebody who's done all your AP classes, somebody who graduates with in excess of a 4.0 GPA from high school, we're ready for you. If, on the other hand, you've been out of high school for 10 or 15 years and you'd like to advance your skills and you need just a couple of particular classes or a certificate, and then you can take the next job in your career, the next promotion, we're ready to meet you there. If, on the other hand, you've graduated from high school, but you know, schooling was never really much for you and you just kind of got by, it was a bit of a struggle, we're ready to meet you because there's no doubt that students have the intellect, and it's our job to figure out a way for them to be successful. So I think that's one of the key things I've learned about Saddleback is that students first, every student, every day, that really is the mantra that I keep hearing. Our faculty members go out of their way to learn about students' challenges, to help them overcome those challenges. We have counselors who meet with the students one-on-one. We have librarians, we have staff, and everybody's dedicated to the same mission. Even our grounds crew, even the people who clean up this room, everybody's focused on student success. So that, for me, is something that really stands out about Saddleback College.
And, well, I guess, is there anything else that you would like to end on?
No, I guess the only thing I would share is that we're always looking for more input from the students. So we have a very active associated student government, and I'd encourage any student who wants to have input on the next 50 years to see what kind of opportunities there are in associated student government. We have students who are very active on all of our governance, you know, our decision-making structures. So get involved. Let's hear from students.
Thank you again for your time, Dr. Anderson.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for this episode. This has been Michael Sines on Channel 39, sending it back to the studio.
Thank you, Michael, and a very special thank you to our president, Dr. Gregory Anderson, for taking the time out of his busy schedule to sit down with us. Let's take another quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. The Scoop will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Ashley White with The Scoop, and we're going to look at the Saddleback Filmmaker Spotlight, where we interview Juan Cabral, the director of a documentary that is part of the Saddleback Showcase for the Newport Beach Film Festival. It's called Inside Barrio Viejo. Check it out.
My name is Juan Cabral, and I directed the documentary Inside Barrio Viejo. It's a story about a little town here in Orange County, San Juan Capistrano, and the local gang in it, and trying to understand what makes someone join that lifestyle.
As I started searching for answers and getting rejected from my neighbors, people I grew up with, and people who joined, I learned most people didn't want to talk in fear of retaliation. I knew then I had a lot to learn.
I grew up with a lot of these guys. We lived in the same neighborhood, we went to the same schools, and growing up I noticed that they were taking different routes than I was. I came here to Saddleback College to try to focus on film and try to find a career, whereas they went a different path. I feel hopeful. I hope people will listen to the story and realize that this is going on, in such a rich and vibrant county in Orange County.
While talking with the gang members who I grew up with, we reminisce about the neighborhood and the experiences we all had growing up together. After understanding that how much I actually have in common with my old peers, I explained to my producer what it was like for me to be harassed by cops growing up and how I have always wanted to leave so I can create a new life somewhere else. After finding my connection to my community, I realized how hard it is to run away from my roots.
I think it's interesting because these stories don't get told often, I feel, especially, like I said, in Orange County, where it's happening in our backyard. San Juan Capistrano. It's a small little city. It's known to be one of the most romantic cities in Orange County, but my message is just compassion. I mean, I'm wearing this shirt. This is for, specific for animals, but I think it just goes all around. If we humans, if we people just look at each other like we see ourselves and treat each other like we want to be treated, we can eliminate so many problems, all the problems in the world that we're facing. And this is just a very small piece of that huge puzzle that we're all trying to figure out.
Compassion and love are two things that really go a long way into making our community a better and more inclusive place. If you'd like to see the full documentary, you can catch it at the Newport Beach Film Festival, running April 23rd to May 6th. Now it's time for our live demonstration starring professionally trained dog and an adorable puppy from Wags and Wiggles.
Hello, I'm Michael Sines, and I'm here with Laura Zorborg, owner of Wags and Wiggles. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. We are so excited to be here. This is Puppy Logic. He is a 8-week-old Border Collie puppy. And this is Ticket. He is a 5-year-old Border Collie. And they're not related, but they do live in the same house.
Well, thank you for bringing him around. I see you're going to show us a bit of agility tricks today.
I am. We're very excited to show you our tricks. And agility is a really fun activity that you can do with your dog. And it's something that you can do in the backyard with them just to make your dog tired and give them something to do. Or you can go on to actually competitions. You can travel around the country if you want to, or even go to Europe to compete in agility. And this is a jump, and this is the most basic agility obstacle. And you can see that there are 2 wings and a bar. And what we're looking to teach the dog is how to go over the bar without knocking the bar. So in competition, if the bar falls on the ground, that's going to be a fault. So we want to make sure that the dogs know how to get over the bar safely. So I'm going to show you that with Ticket.
Perfect.
And you're going to babysit Logic.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Okay. So we want to teach them to go around the bar. They can go right, they can go left. Okay. Go. And you can see he's learned pretty much not to touch the bar, which is just great. Then we have, this is our tire. This is another agility obstacle. And with the tire, the nice thing is it pops open. So those are magnets that keep it closed. But if the dog accidentally touches it, we want to make sure they don't hurt themselves. So for instance, with the jump, it's all plastic. So if the dog makes any sort of error and hits it, they're not going to injure themselves. And with the tire, we want to make sure that they don't hurt themselves either. So it'll actually come apart if the dog touches it. Ticket, bring. So Ticket's going to show you now. He just told me. He's ready. Touch. Stay. Okay. Good boy.
Oh.
Good boy. Drop. Drop. Sit. So the last thing I wanted to show you today was the weave poles. And these are the weave poles here. And we want to teach the dogs to weave in and out in a serpentine motion. And the dogs actually always have to enter off their left shoulder, which is really brilliant that you can teach a dog only to enter off their left shoulder. I can barely keep track of my right and left, but the dog learns it, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to show you the whole course now. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Great. Ticket is ready. Stay. Okay. Weave. Good boy. Good job. And you can see I'm using a toy to train him today. We also use food. So I'm going to give Puppy Logic here a cookie because he's been so good for hanging out with you. Yeah. Ticket, bring, drop, sit. You always want to make sure agility is fun for your dog. And that's why we use the toys and the food.
Wow, yeah, and I definitely see that. These guys are just so well behaved, and yet they look like they're having a blast.
So you definitely want to start with some basic training with your dog before you start agility. You want to make sure they have some basic manners, that they'll pay attention to you when they're off leash, they'll sit, they'll stay, they won't run off, they won't try and be bothered, by distractions. And so you would start with some basic training, and then you could move on to your agility training. It usually takes about 2 years before you're going to go into a competition. And competitions are held locally through AKC, and you can find that on the akc.org website.
And then can we see one full movement of Ticket here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Weave. Weave. Good boy. Good boy. He'll do it 1,000 times. He loves it.
So perfect every time.
Drop. Ticket. Drop. Thank you. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Stay.
Wow, impressive. And is there a website or a phone number that people can reach Wags and Wiggles if they're looking
Absolutely.
to get into agility training?
Yes, we have a very extensive website that you can learn all about agility. You can sign up for classes. It's wagsandwiggles.com. Our phone number is 949-635-9655.
Thank you again, Lori, for taking the time to bring these lovable pups here to Channel 39.
Thank you for having us. It was a blast.
Yeah. So this is Channel 39, Michael Sines with Lori Zerborg, signing off for The Scoop.
Thank you, Lori and Ticket, for that inspiring and exciting agility demonstration. If you're interested in learning more about training or daycare for your dog, check out Wags and Wiggles at wagsandwiggles.com. As we wrap up, a special thanks to Saddleback President Dr. Gregory Anderson, as well as Lori Zerborg from Wags and Wiggles for joining us in studio. Thank you to Sidecar Donuts for showing us behind the scenes of donut making. We appreciate the delectable treats and the positive community impact with side cares. Congratulations to Saddleback student Juan Cabral for creating and sharing such an impactful documentary in hopes to bring awareness and inclusivity to underrepresented people. Finally, we'd like to thank Chris Justice for bringing us into his studio and the incredible artwork that you've created. I have been your host, Ashley White, and this has been another episode of The Scoop. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Channel 39.